Hi, and welcome to this lesson on startup innovation, breaking into the buyer's market. When we talk about startup innovation, what we're really talking about is trying to find a product market fit. Every method that is used today in order to find this product market fit uses what we call the build, measure, learn process. First, you build and you end up with a product, which you can then put into a customer's hands or into the marketplace. You can then measure feedback through data, and the data comes in, and then you can learn and come up with new ideas about how to improve your product and continue to search for that product market fit. The way that we define a product market fit is through hypotheses, which we are constantly looking to test and prove with this continuous lean process. To understand customer development, you first need to understand the 4 stages of customer development. They start with customer discovery, where you're looking for the customer that needs your product. And then we move on to customer validation, which is to validate not just that this customer needs your product, but that this customer also is a sustainable customer that will buy your product and continue to feed your business so it can grow. During this process, you're likely to need to change your business model or change your marketing or change your product in how it's delivered. In those cases, we're going to perform a pivot and go back to customer discovery because of the fact that now, with that change, you need to revalidate that you've actually solved the problem. Once you're able to pass through the gate of customer validation, where you have a model that works for your business, a channel that drives in customers, and a fit where you know that you've got great traction with the customer and that you're delivering value, you then do what's called crossing the chasm. You move from the early adopters and the evangelists into what's called the early majority. And here, this is where you bring in a lot of funding and you drive up customer creation with sales execution. This means that at this point, your funnel, your marketing ability needs to be very strong and tuned in so you can really grow the number of users with a big marketing campaign and then build out this market. And once you've built the market, then you can also solidify your company and put in those processes so that you can maintain your advantage, you can scale operations, and then keep the others far behind you. In terms of bringing this back to the searching and the build, measure, learn cycle, at the very beginning in customer discovery, we are testing our value and our customer hypotheses. We're looking for that problem solution fit. We're also looking to see if we can actually deliver an MVP that works for them, something that they will buy, even if it costs more for you to make than they'll buy it for. And then we're also looking to understand, is there a way to find this customer in a regular pattern? We then move on to customer validation, where we're looking for a solid product market fit, where we can define the customer and the product that we have. We can then have a business model about how to make that product and sell it with a profit, and a process for finding customers and bringing them into your product, into your organization, so that you can continue to serve them. In this process, you're going to fail, and you're going to fail on a routine basis until you figure out the right fit. The ways that you can recover from failing is pivoting. And of course, the types of pivots are a zoom in pivot, where you figure out that just one part of your product is actually valuable, so you zoom in on that part of the product. There's a zoom out pivot where you realize that your product is incomplete, or maybe it needs services or some kind of educational material in order to make it usable. You also have a customer segment pivot where you realize that you're in the wrong segment of your market, or maybe there's another customer similar that you need to focus on. Or maybe you recognize that there's actually a different need that you're serving than you thought before. Your customers are buying, but they're not buying for the reason that you thought, so you can tune your marketing. Then there's the value capture. Value capture could be through a paid model, a sticky model, or it could be that you have some kind of freemium model or a viral model. Whatever the case is, you need to have a way of capturing value at the right point in order to drive your funnel, but also in order to make profits. You may also have to switch your channels. Go to where your customers are. Maybe they're not on the internet. Maybe they're reached via radio ads or in-person marketing. And then finally, the growth pivot. Are you paying to get your customers? Are you keeping your customers with a subscription model? Or is your product marketing itself as a viral product where the use of it simply drives more use of it, like a really great t-shirt? Whatever types of pivots you need to make, you are searching and searching to find that perfect business model that works with a product market fit and a repeatable sales cycle so that you can then drive into the early majority with a sales execution that will really build your company and turn it into one of the unicorn startups we hear about today. So when do you stop searching? Peter Thiel, one of the founders of PayPal and oftentimes called part of the PayPal mafia, who has gone on to be a VC and invest in many great startups like Facebook and like Palantir, says that there are really 7 questions that you need to be able to answer in order to know whether or not you have a breakaway success as a startup. First, is it 10 times better? If something is not an order of magnitude better in terms of a product, then most users will not get over their inertia to actually adopt it. Second, is this the right time? Are you bringing a product to market that also has the environment and the delivery mechanisms and the moment in which it will be adopted? Do you have a monopoly? This is important to understand whether or not your product is actually going to be one of its kind or be able to capture a major market share. Do you have the right people on the team? Can you continue to grow? Does your team have the expertise needed, or do you need to bring in more partners? Do you have the distribution capability? This is key, and oftentimes the reason why we see so many information technology products take off much faster than physical or cyber physical products is because of the fact that delivery is much easier. Durability. Can you sustain your advantage? And finally, secret. What is your advantage? What do you know that no one else knows how to do? If you have that, then you can maintain staying ahead of the fast followers who will always come in behind you, especially with big business money, with more money, more marketing, and more experience. So I hope that this has been useful for you. I hope that you understand a little bit more about how startups innovate and how they too search for solutions. It always starts with understanding the customer and then understanding how your product that you're pushing into the market is going to be able to fit into the customer's hands in a repeatable delivery process with a marketing approach that can sustain itself as an enterprise. We look forward to seeing you in the rest of the course. Hey there, did you enjoy that lesson as much as I did? If you did, go ahead and give us a like. If you want to see another one, go ahead and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments, put them below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Moreover, is there somebody in your life who really needs this lesson right now? If so, go ahead and share it with them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Now, we look forward to seeing you in the next lesson where you can learn even more from the University of Maryland Project Management Center for Excellence. Thanks so much.